This is Brownie's Podcast.
Hey, welcome to Brownie's Podcast. We got a big one. We're all going to Tassie. You're going to hear about our road trip plans. Carlos v. Pup. More of that. And plenty more. How the hell are you two?
I'm going beautifully. I'm so excited for our big trip to Hobart on Sunday. Even more excited that so we're going to the Hobart Cup on Sunday to watch our good friend Campbell Brown MC the Hobart Cup. Yeah. Unbelievable. That was unbeknown to me. I've only just found that out moments ago. Yeah. So we are flying to Hobart.
Who's paying for this?
Yeah.
Well, Racing Tasmania, and there's a great marquee called the Young Racing Tasmanian Marquee that I'm going to be hosting, and you guys are going to be there.
Where are we sleeping?
And drinking, and the great thing about it is,
where do we sleep? What's happening?
Yeah.
Is Brody's not coming.
Brody, what the
He's coming.
We're a team here.
Yeah, but some of us have a regular job and they need to go to work on a Monday. For the rest of you guys just float about in life, having everything that's...
Brekkie Radio's got him because he couldn't get back in time.
Who would do it? It's awful.
Well, is it?
Please come.
Mate, what is more important? The Brekkie Radio or Brownie's Podcast?
Exactly.
Or paying my
Answer us.
mortgage.
Hey?
Yeah, it's probably mortgage.
All right, good
Well,
point.
interest rates are going up again, so...
I've got a bone. It's going to be a great day. Can't wait to get down to the Hobart Racecourse. Thanks to...
Elwick.
That's
what it's called.
Elwick. That's right, Elwick. Thanks to Tasmanian Racing.
Yeah.
But who's in charge of the flight home? The biggest sporting day on the globe.
Yeah.
And we look up our flight schedule. Mate, the Super Bowl starts at 10:30.
What?
We are flying out of Hobart Airport at 20 past 11.
Dog!
On Monday.
Can I say...
Dog, what are you doing to us?
I'm on the 7:30am flight.
You son of a bitch!
I knew.
What? Mate, what are you doing
What
to
are you
us?
doing to us?
Mate, you tried to sabotage my Super Bowl trip last year by annoying the shit out of me and taking
tradition.
up 3/4 of me bed. Now you're going to have me in midair while about 5 Australians are playing in the Super Bowl.
I wanted to make sure you had a good sleep in.
You son of a bitch!
So,
That's supposed to be booing, and I wish it was.
Yeah, that's
not
what
booing.
cheering.
did you put
Cheering,
any
cheering.
thought into this, Brown Dog?
Well, I did for me. I'll say that, but
Jeez.
I wasn't in charge of your flights because you're flying down separately, you're flying back separately.
Oh.
So I needed you guys to take the initiative there and get on the earlier Jetstar flight.
Well, we had no initiative. This is organised by you. You wanted us to be in the gallery to watch your MC skills.
And tradition says, because this is the 4th year I've gone down to do the Racing Tasman. I usually do Devonport, Hobart and Launceston. I sing a song in the marquee at the end, just, for the punters.
Do they want
love
that,
it.
or do you offer that service?
They don't necessarily want it.
What did you sing last year?
I've sung Johnny Farnham, You're the Voice. I think I've banged out a little bit of Kay Sand before.
Bit stereotypical for me.
I know, that's...
Daryl Braithwaite, Horses.
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
I
Something
reckon
different.
I did Elton John and Dua Lipa as well a few
How
years
about
ago.
this year,
Don't mind
F*** the Police by NWA. What do you reckon?
So I reckon we'll get Big JB up there as well and do a little duet.
Oh, this is amazing.
Oh, that's special.
Can we do Shallow?
Yeah, I can do shallow.
Who's Gaga?
Yeah, as long as
You're Gaga, because
you're
you got a
Gaga.
higher voice.
You're Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit
he's-
more masculine than you.
Also,
so I'll go with Bradley
Also,
Cooper.
just like Bradley Cooper, he's going to piss himself on stage. Where are we staying? I don't even know where we're sleeping.
It's all sorted. No, Crown
what does
Plaza
that
down
mean?
there. Everything's sorted.
JB, what does that mean? It's all sorted.
Don't
I
worry.
don't know. I think we're at least sleeping in the marquee, maybe.
We'll have a big fill up and then...
Look, the people of Tasmania are lovely, and but I feel like I've fallen a long way. 12 months ago, I was in a corporate box on the centre line of SoFi Stadium for the Super Bowl. And now I'm going to be at Elwick Racecourse 12 months later, not even seeing the Super Bowl. How the mighty have fallen, Dino.
Dog, while we're on the Tassie trip, can I give you $200 cash to invest?
Yes.
And you just make me money out of $200.
I can do that. I did that for some friends on Cox Plate Day, and they end up making a fortune.
Well, I don't care if it goes, but I'm going to give you the money.
It won't go.
All right.
I'll be like David Copperfield. You give me $200 and I'll guarantee you'll get a return of something. Might
Well,
be
you
$5.
probably run a
mate.
punters club in the marquee, do you?
We did in previous years, but I think some of the money went amiss one year. And
Really?
What? What a surprise.
No, because a lot of people leave before the last race.
Uh-huh.
And then if the punters club comes through with the quaddy or whatever, they're chasing up their share of the money.
too
It's,
hard.
it's not enough to bother about, so we donate it to charity. And some people want it.
All you podcast listeners, subscribe to us and subscribe to our Instagram because we're going to be documenting this loose weekend that Brody won't be at.
I think it'll be fantastic. Before we move on, just quickly, Doc, how do you... Because I haven't done a lot of emceeing before. And I think it's obviously a tough art, a fine art. Yeah. How do you start the day? How do you warm the room? Like, do you go in all serious and just sort of line and length early?
Humour's very important.
But what if it misfires early?
Well,
and then you lose the room.
Yeah. Like I opened my wedding with fornication. Sorry, for an occasion like this.
Mate, don't start like that.
None of the guests laughed, so I thought, jeez.
That's quite relevant for Tasmanians. they're all related.
Dog, win us over right now. You got the mic. It's on. You've tested it. Win us over right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this beautiful marquee for Young Racing Tasmania this afternoon. I'm Campbell Brown, your MC. Let's get some formalities out of the way. Back left, you can smoke. Toilets out the back. Open bar till 6 o'clock. Race number 1 is coming up shortly.
Very bored so far, John.
Really?
Yeah.
But you've got to get...
Punch us in the guts with something.
Well, you've got to get the formalities out of the way, don't you?
Do you have to acknowledge some of the distinguished people in the room? Like us?
Probably should, but... yeah, I'll get around to that.
If we don't get a mention, I'll definitely be storming the stage at some stage later in the day.
All right, it's a very special anniversary. A lot of players are doing their pre-season, and it's almost 20 years to the day. Muggsy, Brownie's cousin, tackled him off a balcony and up his ribs, and Brownie had to lie to Lethal about it for many weeks.
I did too. It's unfortunate. Zach Williams did his knee the other day. So pre-season injuries, they're the worst. You've had a great pre-season. Best pre-season ever. I was talking to Luke Power today and he actually said Zach Williams was flying.
Yeah.
And then he's just done his ACL and nothing more frustrating, Dog. And I remember in 2003 when we were going for our third premiership and I was in ripping shape. Tearing the track to smithereens and went home to see me loose mates, including Muggsy, and we had a slab day. We had a few drinks. Muggsy had too many, decided he wanted to be Hulk Hogan and try and spear tackle me off a 5-metre balcony. We went through the balustrading. I landed in the garden bed, broke my ribs, and then had to lie to Lethal. And obviously, then that interrupted my pre-season, and I was slow to start the 2003 season. So I can sympathise with Zach, even though his injury was done in an official training session.
And yours, Pitbull, has tackled
Slapathon.
Amazing.
Don't you agree, though? There's nothing worse for a player.
Nah, there's not. And, only a few years ago, Tommy Mitchell broke his leg quite badly in pre-season. I've seen...
He was tackled by Jared Ruffhead.
That was...
that was someone else.
At St Kilda last year, someone broke their leg. Who was it?
Jared Ruffhead was the
coach. He played an intra-club game.
He played an intra-club game. He tackled one of the boys and snapped his leg in half.
Mate, you'd be ropeable. And I remember Tim Boyle breaking his leg and Max Bailey doing his knee. You just feel for them, especially right at the back end of the pre-season. If they did it in October or November, but they're just about to start the season, and then the whole year's gone for them. So it can set. I mean, that's going to hurt Carlton.
It's going to hurt Carlton. I think too the flow-on effect today. Like I think Sam Doherty is probably looking to move into the midfield. With Williams having a really good pre-season along with Sard and. Because I like Williams. I potted him a couple of years ago. I said he's one of the laziest players in the AFL in that year, which was a fair clip on reflection.
Yeah, mate. Jesus Christ.
But I've always liked him and rated his ability when he's up and going and he's fit. So that hurts Carlton. That probably upsets their midfield balance now.
Who's replacing Gil McLaughlin? Let's chuck up some names. Brody, what do you got over there?
I would like to see Rex Hunt replace
Rex Hunt is
I think he would be a great asset.
Magnificent.
Magnificent. It was Ben Patton, by the way.
Yeah, it
had his leg broken by Jared Ruffhead.
Chuck someone up.
What about Molly Meldrum? He could just go into an AFL press conference and drop his strides.
Yeah, and those old sag gravity has got hold of those cheeks. Those butt cheeks.
Hey, geez, it's a difficult one at the moment. I think Carl Stefanovic.
Carl.
Just Carlos.
I would love Carl to be the CEO. I would love him.
Imagine him being the CEO.
And not Carl Stefanovic, one name.
Carlos.
And every time he goes to leave a press conference, all the journos go, "Don't walk away from me, Carlos." What about Bill Vlahos?
Oh,
He can run an organisation.
Fraudulent punting scheme.
Bill Cosby. No,
Bill.
Bill. We're just chucking up names. We're just
still alive?
Yeah, I don't know. Is he in jail still?
You know, I tell you what, I am going. I'm going to Canberra tonight just to rub shoulders with the politicians.
No. Tell us. This is very mysterious because out there you said I'm going to dinner with politicians. Jonathan, what does that mean?
Well, I'm going to Parliament House tonight to.
Will you meet the Prime Minister?
Well, I'm not sure. Albo might be there. I'll have a beer with Albo.
Can you get him to say WTB?
WTB.
If you can get him to say WTB, we can post it.
Well, that'd be someone who actually likes it because I ran into a girl called Daisy who was on Survivor with Simon Black.
Yes, I remember her. Yeah,
Daisy Richardson.
Oh,
Daisy Richardson.
Jeez,
she ran into me at Gold Coast Airport and said, Brownie, I love the podcast. I thought, thank you. But she said, you've got to get rid of WTB.
No shit,
it's
Daisy.
Embarrassing.
Good point,
she said
Daisy.
it's bringing down your podcast.
It's cringe.
Jeez, that's the
Speak
first
to
time I've
Campbell.
heard that.
It's cringe. And speaking of cringe, you want to do the cringe words now since we're talking about WTV?
Well, just quickly, now I'm going, I don't know what I'm going to Canberra for.
well, remember, you're a staunch One Nation man. You love One Nation. You and Pauline are closest of friends.
Do you have financial interests that you are furthering
Yes.
by going to this dinner?
Yeah. Hunter Biden-esque.
Yes or no?
Well, I may.
Say yes or no.
I may at the end of the dinner. If I can slip a few into Albo. But no, I'm there as part of it. I don't know. I suppose they're a relationship thing. I know there's some power
That
brokers.
still means nothing.
Well, I don't know. There's power brokers from the AFL going, and Andrew Dillon is going, who's reportedly going to be the next CEO of the AFL. So maybe I'll slip a few into him at dinner time. Just get the inside mail out of him.
John.
Unbelievable.
What do you think? Do you think Andrew Dillon?
I think he's
the real chance.
Yeah, I think he's the one. Travis Old's been thrown up. I know Benny Gale, but I think they're leaning towards Andrew Dillon. I mean, he's been the head of legal there for a long time. He knows the organisation well. He'd be a really good CEO. But I'd like you to find out some secret stuff from the politicians.
Your challenge is to get Albo recorded on your phone and ask him what his favourite song is. That's a random question. Yeah, favourite song.
That'd be good.
That's your challenge.
I've always wanted to meet a Prime Minister. Never have.
What do you think of Albo so far? Let's just do 10 seconds on this.
Yeah, I don't mind him.
He's going all right, eh?
He's going all right, yeah.
You know?
I'd like to have a weird drink with him, though.
Yes.
Malibu pineapple, like you did with
what
Manning.
about, remember that day around the Super Bowl? The day before the Super Bowl, we had about 85 Moscow mules.
Yeah, Moscow
The
mules.
Moscow mule with Albo in the current climate.
Yeah. Hey, with Manning, by the way, when you had a drink with him, I know we're going all over the place, Broads, but hey, it's early in the season.
it's
We're
early.
just getting the cobwebs out. Was he getting sick of you guys?
No.
Eli Manning, Peyton was not getting sick of you guys.
Any man that's getting sick of someone is not handing their phone over to type their phone number into there.
That's a good point.
You know who got sick of us real quick? Saweetie.
Yeah.
Oh, the rapper.
Maybe she turned to me and said, you guys.
Sorry, all right, back on track. Back in a second. We're talking cringe words coming up and plenty more. Do not move. Welcome back to Brownie's podcast. We're back in 2023. It really helps when you subscribe and leave a comment or rate us or whatever because we love doing this. Now, let's one more time talk about Carlos v. Pup Clark, the fight that never happened.
Well, why don't we go to the man that knows him all too well, our man here, Campbell Brown, Brown Dog, who, of course, famously on television together, The Verdict.
8 weeks.
Single-handedly nearly brought Channel 9 down.
What was the verdict,
Who was the cast?
It was a highly political show that we would discuss topics, that were topical.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And this didn't survive? Wait, was it a panel format?
Yeah, panel format.
And it was
Mark Latham. Julian Burnside, a very famous human rights activist.
So very left at the moment, so they needed a resident right winger.
Mel Brown.
They rolled me out. Bob Catter.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute.
Jamila Risby.
Do you feel a bit funny that you're on the side of Bob Catter?
I tell you what I felt.
He's on your team?
I tell you what I felt funny about. There were all these politicians and activists and lawyers and really highly intelligent people, and I was the only one that made sense. That's what I found.
In your opinion.
I watched it and I'll back him up there. Him and Carlos.
Me and Carl.
So
we talk about the Bali Nine and all sorts of stuff. I just said line them up and shoot them.
Okay,
it's fine.
Sorry, that was your hot take on the Bali Nine was line them up and shoot them.
Well, you can't interfere in other countries' laws. They've got their own laws
I
and their own
can't wait
beliefs.
to hear from the legal department. I am so
Looking
excited.
forward to that. I thought Carlos was unfairly targeted by
Maligned.
Pup Clark and
Yeah.
unfairly maligned with this blue that happened a couple of weeks ago with Pup and his missus.
Well, there's a
Jack's
couple of
missus.
questions, JB, that need answering.
Yeah.
Right? So the Vision started filming and Pup had his shirt off.
So,
Any explanation?
Bogan red flag number 1. Why do you have your shirt off, shit-faced in public?
easy. They were in an Italian restaurant, spilt red wine,
Easy.
and the spaghetti marinara on the front of his white
No,
shirt.
you're absolutely right. Easily explained.
Okay, what about he starts hobbling down the street like Kaiser Sose and the usual suspects?
Do you want to explain that one?
Well, he's got a big hamstring history.
Yeah.
So there wouldn't have gone a month. There wouldn't have been a month go by without Pup doing his hamstring of some sort.
nah,
So
fair.
his missus was out of control at the time. So he's probably just trying to get away from
Yeah,
her.
Pup wasn't out of control. He was completely...
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, you're right. Take the side of Michael. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yep.
Is there any chance that she slapped him on the cheek, the right cheek, and the
Butt or face?
reverberations have gone down through his body and done the hemi then, or it was a ducking motion?
I don't mind that. Yeah, he's he forgot to do yoga that morning. He didn't have the yoga. He didn't have the flexibility ready, and it just came bang.
The paper
Just come a
mache
short
hand.
And then,
notice.
why did he want to flog Carlos? Pup want to flog...
Yeah,
Why?
I still want to get to the bottom of this.
Carlos is a man of peace. He's a man that I believe would never have been in a fight, physically or verbally.
Do you
in
propose
his
that
whole
Carlos
life.
is hitting?
I propose that Carlos, he wouldn't hurt a fly.
Well,
He's a pacifist.
I think if I
he
hear
couldn't
Carlos...
punch his way.
So-
Couldn't punch his way out of a wet paper bag. We know that.
I reckon Pup knew that they were filming, and he thought, "I'm going to just pick on a bloke here that I guarantee I'll beat." A bit like the boxing promoters, that
really?
they choose someone that they know you'll flog.
Yeah, fair enough. Can we put this to bed? We've got no new info, do we?
No,
it's
we
just
don't.
two bogans
It's
in a caravan
speculation.
park being wankers. Okay.
What was Mark Latham like?
Yeah, not too bad. Got on pretty well with him. He used to shake my hand really firmly, you know.
Yes.
Has he got bitch tits?
Loves a punt
Is
as
that what
well.
you're saying, Dino?
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. He was just showing the rest of us, but now you've called him out on it. So you reckon like
Yeah.
it's got bitch titties.
And we're filming this podcast. I'm going to make sure we cut that bit of vision
Okay,
up.
let's touch on this. Everyone's got boobs. I got boobs, but here's a prominent boobs. Like they're bra-able boobs.
Are they?
And it's so mean to talk like this,
Do you
but
well, do you think he'd be able to press up a good bench press?
I think his boobs would prevent him from getting any depth on his push-ups I'm talking
No,
about.
that would help.
Nah.
Well, I think we need to ask Mark how much he'd bench press.
Okay, so WTB was brought up before. I think it's cringy. I hate the phrase. Dog, you love it. Cringy.
Cringy.
I think that there's a whole plethora of words out there that you'd find cringy. A few that just sparked my attention. I absolutely cannot stand when a female says, people call me a unicorn.
What?
Why?
You know they call themselves unicorns?
But why?
Well, because they're so great.
They're a one in a million.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
they're
Yeah.
rare, right?
Unique. Yeah.
So that's cringy. Oh, I hate the term fur babies. Just call them pets,
Yeah,
animals,
fair.
dogs,
Fair.
cats.
Fair.
Yeah, good.
Fry-yay.
Oh,
If you're dropping fry-yay and you're over 15, give me a
Jesus.
spell.
Oh,
No, I got caught up in that though. Once with Liv, she started saying fryer, and I caught myself doing it on
What
the way to
about-
school. But you know that's okay.
this is a good
Let's
list.
connect.
Oh, yuck.
I've got one for you.
Yeah.
I love that journey for you. My wife Kylie says that to me at times, and obviously she knows I hate the word journey, just to try and stir me up and just needle me and go,
Yeah.
oh, I love that journey for you. When I'm telling her a story,
Yeah.
she's got no interest in it. She'll go, oh, I love that journey
Yuck.
for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
My,
yuck.
my mates on WhatsApp, when they want to bail from an event or like last minute piss off, they'll say, I'm going to chaff myself from this.
Never heard that.
Oh,
Well, as in leave.
Yeah. And that's like a fun way of letting down your friends, that little cute word. It makes me angry. Broads, what do you got?
nice to meet you.
Oh,
no, that's
Christ.
as bad as it comes.
Over the email.
Yeah, so you find someone that you've actually never met in person, and rather than just say, "Hey, how are you?" conventional, they go, "Nice to meet you." No.
What about when someone comes out and says, this is triggering me?
Oh, yeah.
I've honestly never been triggered in my whole life by
Again,
anything.
Kylie says that all the time.
Really? It's triggering?
So, It's actually a lot of phrases and words that Kyle's we're not happy with, actually, at the moment.
What about when you ask someone a question and they continually, in the answer, saying, "Oh, obviously." It's not obviously. That's why I asked the fucking question.
Yeah.
Right?
I say, obviously, I used to say it on Ask Brownie on the radio show because I was trying to buy time.
A stalling tactic.
Okay.
Yeah, people ring up with these just random questions, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
And it was a stalling tactic.
Yeah, dog, if JB ever starts rolling out, obviously, look into his eyes.
He's
There's
not paying
nothing there.
attention.
Yeah, and then
Scrambling.
probably the one, and I think this is probably because I am it,
Yeah.
when they describe you as a middle-aged white man, a middle-aged white male.
Yeah,
That's
right.
smack bang where I am right
Yeah,
now. And
yeah.
so are you, and so are
Yeah.
you.
And why don't you like it?
Yeah,
It's too descriptive.
Does it remind you of your mortality?
I'm a model, baby.
actually, it's a bit confronting, isn't
Don't
it?
you reckon?
Jesus.
Yeah, anyway.
The word dope, I don't really like. Oh, that's
No.
dope, man.
I could imagine you saying that back in the day when you were coming through the ranks.
Like, not talking about weed, that's that dope, but like if something's cool,
Yeah.
that's a dope film.
Or when they use the word "that's fresh," I'm like, unless you're talking about a food item,
Yeah.
it can't be fresh. Don't
Correct.
talk about my shoes as fresh or my jacket is fresh.
Unless you're talking about prawn crackers, piss off.
We'll tie this back into AFL one last time. Yeah, when blokes in the media, which I'm one of, I'll acknowledge that,
okay.
keep going up with system and method.
Jeez.
It's a system and method.
Everything.
Oh, come on. Just say it the way they play.
Come on, Kingy.
This
That's
is like
David
that.
King written all over it.
Mate, he's gone for Kingy very early.
So we need to start calling these
Kingy
words
out?
out.
Yeah.
No, just because, if you hear someone dropping, fry yay or
Right.
dope or whatever, just say, hey, Brownie's podcast doesn't accept that any longer.
Every season there seems to be a new one, so keep an ear out for these
Keep an ear
stupid
out,
words.
that's
Okay, pre-season training's happening all over the country in various sports. What's your hot take, Brody?
All right, so this is pretty much the worst time of the year. When you haven't been in the early pre-seasons in December and stuff, and you've pretty much skipped January, you've said, you know what, I'll give myself until after Australia Day. So everyone rolls back into pre-season training, and that's truly the worst day of your amateur footballing life, right? Because you roll in, you don't know 30 of the blokes there, and no one actually wants you there.
Nah.
They want everyone that's already been there or premiership teammates. They don't want you there. So every time, like I've been to a couple of different clubs, and you go there and they hate you. Straight away, they hate you. But I was thinking,
Do you think they might hate you because you can't play or you lack of talent?
yeah, that probably contributes to it, I would say.
What
But
about how arrogant you are?
okay, it's not a personal attack.
Like,
This
I-
is just a story.
Like
But
in my experience, usually a player with a lot of talent gets embraced very quickly.
No doubt about that.
Because you think he's helping us.
And a player that's nice and humble and got talent, they're unicorns.
Bro,
shut up.
Bro, do you think it's when you're at the urinal and you pull your pants all the way down to your ankles? That's a bit strange.
Who does that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, Brady.
Which-
Continue on.
Which brings me to my next point.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to a club, right? And I want to be embraced for the first time ever. And I don't want to have the same old system like, oh, God, let's put him at the very back or let's let him
Don't
train.
wear your jocks in the shower.
Yeah, let's let him train with the under 16s
Let it
or
out.
whatever. So the way that I'm going to get in with the cool group at training,
Oh, God, don't call them that. That means you're not cool. Sorry, keep going.
let's call them the A graders.
Yeah, yeah.
To get in
Okay.
with the A graders, is guess what? I'm taking Jonathan Brown to training.
Hey,
Good
It's the
luck.
first I've heard of it.
Good luck getting him there.
I'm going to rock up with Jonathan Brown to a training.
it's a great idea,
And
mate.
do you know what?
And all of a sudden, I've got
That's a
credibility.
good
Nah,
idea.
I
I'll tell
think
you
you're a
what.
try hard.
You'd want to start with going via the news agency and buying some envelopes. I'm not going anywhere near you, John, without an envelope.
Whoa, so you're no chance.
Well, I at least need something. I need some sort of incentive.
Brody, over to you. What's the incentive?
Where is this club?
He's got no money, man.
I've got no money. I'm not the one that's going to be partying with the money. But don't worry, you and I are going to go to training, and they're going to love me instantaneously. You don't have to be there 15 minutes,
Okay.
a few handballs, and all of a sudden, I'll be the king of training.
Okay, we'll be docking your pay for the next podcast and come down.
I cannot wait to hear how this goes. Ads back in a second. Don't move. Welcome back to Brownie's podcast. During the ads, Brody was just saying to JB, yeah, man, just come down to training. It'll be only 15 minutes. It'll be great. It's great. I guarantee you, it's all fun now, but the reality of the day when it comes around, you're going to go, what the f*** am I doing?
No, full-blown depression, mate.
All right, hey, just a reminder, we're all going to Tassie this weekend for a Dirty Big Boys trip, and it's going to the Hobart Cup.
Hobart Cup, and hopefully things work out a little bit better for us than a couple of years ago. I took a really close friend of mine down, and part of the day for him was...
What's his name?
I can't name any names, but part of the day
Carlos.
for him, his job was to judge fashions on the field.
Did he have bitch tits?
He didn't.
Jason Dunstall.
He's a really good-looking guy, well-groomed, well-dressed, and he was judging fashions on the field. And they gave him a clipboard so he could read out the names of the males and the females that were doing their thing. And they all like to get spruced up. It's a big day down there. And halfway through the fashions on the field, I noticed
Feels like
that the
Christmas.
clipboard that he was holding, sort of, towards his chest, was just down towards his groin area. And I thought that's a really unusual place to hold a clipboard.
It is.
So I moved from front position around to the side.
Is he a bit short-sighted?
Yeah.
Mate, he got an erection. What? A full-blown fat while judging fashions on the field. I've never seen anything like it. So this year, we're banned from judging fashions on the field in the marquee.
Yeah.
What do you do in that scenario? You have to go the tuck up, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He just got the clipboard and just tried to cover
Just
up.
strangle it with the belt. Really pull it in to the very first notch.
Into submission, like it's a
Like a python.
Wow.
That used to happen to me. Happened to me on the bus.
Did it?
You get bored on the school bus to school, and then you'd have to
I
walk
thought you
off.
meant the Brisbane Lions part. I was like,
On the
well,
way to a game with Uncle Pikey sitting next to him.
All right, wait a minute.
Pikey just nudging up against you.
This has opened up a great little sharing moment. So you're on the school bus and you're
They used
getting...
to be called bus fats or boredom fats. Mate, the school bus.
Is that right?
Everybody get them, and then you turn up, and the bus stop had come, and you just wouldn't know what to do. So you're walking off with the bag on your front.
Stunning.
The backpack around the front one.
It was always a huge fear in high school, probably year 9, that you get called up to the front of the class when you're going through some stuff.
We're not catching a bus from the airport to the Hobart race car.
I hope not.
Wait, did you guys ever get him during games or half time
Great
or anything like
question.
that?
Definitely not.
Great question.
Only in the showers afterwards.
Yeah, that's fair. Brody, has there been enough erection chat in this podcast?
No, I think it's been good. Yeah, I think we've hit our
Good
quota.
levels, good levels. Time for...
There was, just before we bounce into What a World and everything, there's a guy that he drove into the petrol station at the West Pennant Hills in Sydney's northwest. And, the rod holders, they're steel, and they're right near the cap where the petrol tank goes. Yeah. This guy, obviously, a little bit distracted. He's pulled up. He's got the nozzle, and he's just poured 231 litres of petrol, which equated to $580, straight down the rod holder. That was then going down the rod holder and out the back of the boat. Oh, and it took him till a passerby 5 or 6 minutes in said, "Hey mate, none of the petrol's actually going in the tank, mate." And he got absolute disaster.
He got to $500 worth.
$580, 231 litres.
That is magnificent.
Yeah.
Where did this happen at?
This is it. This was at the West Pennant Hills 7-Eleven pump in Sydney's northwest.
Geez.
So the guy caught it on film, the back end of it.
Yeah.
All this petrol was just gushing out. So just a little
flat.
mistake there from him.
Stunning. By the way, this weekend, follow us at Brownie's Podcast on
Yeah.
Instagram because shenanigans will be probably
We'll
unfiltered.
go to the stories as well. So we'll try and keep you updated
Great.
throughout the day so you can
Sounds
follow our
good.
progress. Brown Dog's obviously opening up the day. Hopefully there'll be no bus fats on the way to the track. Dog will be magnificent as the MC, and then hopefully a sing-along late in the day.
Yeah, and if there is bus fats, you know how to get through it, man. You just tuck it up and act cool.
Okay. What happens if you don't even need to tuck it up? No one notices anyway.
That's a good point.
Pops its head out.
Okay. Time for...
What a world.
Yes.
Now, this happened over 10 years ago, but it's only just come to my attention. The world record for the longest continued kiss is 58 hours, 35 minutes and 58 seconds.
Really?
This was done over in Thailand, right, many years ago, and was won by Ekachai Tiranarat and Laksana Tiranarat.
love
when
that, Ekachai.
I love when you try and pronounce shit.
Just one more time.
Ekachai Tiranarat and Laksana Tiranarat. Now, the rules of engagement here were your lips
Yeah?
had to be touching and locked
Tongue play?
for the whole 58 hours,
Jeez.
35 minutes and 58 seconds.
unbelievable.
There were 12 other couples. All the other couples dropped away by passing out or fainting because you had to be standing.
Oh, Jesus.
You had to
Survival of the
eat.
fittest.
You had to eat through a straw while your lips still touched. And you had to go to the toilet while still standing while your lips still touched.
There's
Wow.
nothing sexier than locking lips and hearing the tinkle of urine hitting a bucket.
And not just
What
urine.
about the plop?
A plop, yes.
Could you imagine lip locking someone while they are doing a stand-up feces
Yes.
just to win the world record, which they did? So big shout out to them. But I read that and I thought, one, who could be bothered locking lips with your wife for nearly 2.5 days, 3 days, and secondly,
Would you have to nose breathe a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of that.
What?
Imagine if you had a busted nose like ours, mate.
Yeah,
It'd
it'd
be
be no
very
good.
difficult.
Ekachai, fine with it, though. He's a fighter, Ekachai.
So well done. They're on Ripley's, believe it or not, the Guinness Book of Records in Pattaya for the
Did
longest kiss.
Ekachai have any bust
You
fats
can
along
leave
the
me
way?
out of that. he held a clipboard above his waist for the whole time.
All right. World. Watch our socials for this weekend. Who knows what's going to happen. See you later. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Brownies Podcast.